Okay, so here we are. So we got a lower level here, which is essentially the hierarchy system as it pertains to the mundane world, what you can actually see, corporations. The highest being, if you're kind of a commoner, or used to the common hierarchy, you probably think the highest level of control is like the UN and NATO and all these other factors which are out of your control, but they control world politics, they control resource allocation, they control so many different things, including entertainment. So Hollywood is also filtered in there. Also, things like the UFC and football are like considered distractions, like sports from like larger issues.
Just like the Colosseum back in the day.
Yeah.
So like Travis Kelce and Taylor Swift was this big thing, got all of her fans to watch the NFL, and then it was a political statement at the end, vote DNC.
No
and
shit.
like, of course it was connected.
No shit.
Like, fabricated and all bullshit.
The many millions of dollars you get for like 5 seconds of airtime.
It's all money.
It's crazy. But beyond this, which labeled beyond the veil of ordinary perception, we start moving into some of the stuff that is spooky, the cartels, black market. You even talk about BlackRock because this is a corporation.
The Bilderberg Group.
Yeah, yep, definitely in there.
They own everything now.
And you even have breakaway aspects of like older religious organizations. Also the Freemasons, Jesuits. And look, some of those names you probably never even heard of, but they're more or less interlinked. They're not all on the same side. They are very much concerned with like control, information control, dissemination.
Where's the Black Eye Club?
Bohemian Black Eye Club. What?
Have you seen these?
You get punched in the eye.
Yeah,
join the club.
It's like politicians and actors and celebrities. They're all like will rock up to something with a black eye.
Yeah,
why?
Yeah, I've seen that. It's the Eye of Ra thing apparently.
The Eye of Ra.
Yeah, it's a whole another discussion.
And you can it's the surface level Google. Like you'll find it. It's wild.
Yeah, wow.
There's so many people with black eyes. Like what's going on here? You're all falling into doors coincidentally. What the fuck are you doing?
Some kind of weird surgery.
Some
Some sort of ritual or weird surgery.
Yeah,
it's very strange.
But yeah, this is very strange. I mean, this is the point where people will start to roll their eyes and start to go like, "What the fuck?"
Conspiracy and this and that. Like, just deny it.
Yeah. Like, oh, what happened to the Nazis? It's like they were defeated. No, they went to South America.
Yeah, they're all in Argentina.
They legit went to Argentina, bro.
Long life until 75.
Yeah, big time. Whole bunch of other stuff, man. You got the Rothschilds in there. But yeah, so this is Masonic orders or that Masonic orders which are kind of connected to other aspects, right? But beyond this, we start moving into very interestingly the very source of control, the Vatican, and aspects of that. But this is that thing about
it's not letting me go up.
It's not going up.
Wait. They're trying to stop me, the deep state.
Yeah,
they're trying to stop me, mate.
That's it. So we were discussing about the pineal gland and central to the control or understanding.
There's the pine cone.
Right in the middle.
The pine cone.
Which you see in so many walled,
ayahuasca was giving
fucking hieroglyphic things. It's just this pine cone.
It's central. And so why the Vatican and like the religious order is at the very top of this is that they control the dissemination of who can see the outer realms of reality or the inbuilt powers we do have. So the ability to look beyond reality is the pineal cone. It's the pineal gland for those that don't know. And so the Vatican's very concerned with this. Within this circle, you have some of the more like deeper satanic orders. When I mean satanic, they don't mean like satanic as in the Christian idea, but it's the idea of like holding things to material, controlling the material world and like the negative energy. And this starts getting into that discussion you were talking about before. And you're probably thinking like, why is there this other stuff like samurai, daimyo, shogun, all this kind of stuff? There are also certain orders similar to like the Masonic order who are not religious, but they are oligarchical families. Like, you know, like you're talking about the Russian oligarchs, we've heard of them. But you also have these like very ultra wealthy strongholds, kind of like the ninjas in Daredevil. You know, what are they called? The hand. Stuff like that.
The hand,
like that kind of stuff. It's all quite interlinked. It's quite dark.
These are all like the most powerful families and like the I guess the people that have been in power for for millennia.
Yeah. And so they're very concerned with bloodlines at this level. So those who say we were
Merovingian bloodlines.
Merovingian, we were the original descendants of Jesus. We have a right to rule. That's where all kings stem from. That's why Pharaoh is at the very top there, because the oldest secret societies come from like the most ancient texts of ancient Egypt and all that stuff.
And the people that have that knowledge are these people because they were the people in power.
Yep.
So they passed down the knowledge to their bloodlines and then kept the plebs at bay, with throwing them bread and water or whatever, just, you know, keep their bellies full and keep their brains entertained with bullshit. And she'd be right, mate.
Mm-hmm. That's it. That's
it's
it.
Hectic.
And
I love what you're doing right now. It's amazing. I just want you,
very articulate.
Yeah, really cool.
Cheers. I spent a good week kind of trying to get an understanding of this.
Yeah. You're doing a great job.
I'm actually giving the most like broad strokes explanation. There's so many strange names there. What the fuck are the werewolf clans? But you've also got the Saudi oligarchs there as well, and the royal families and stuff. So
oil pumpers.
Yeah. See, the Islamic side are more or less decentralized. They're not like the Vatican. They don't have a central order. There's many different families, and they could be killing each other for power. Whole different thing there.
The Middle East has always been quite destabilized. I think America wanted that.
Yeah.
Well, basically, the people, like, the way I see it is the Crusades never stopped.
Yeah. They never stopped.
They never stopped. No. And that's why the Middle East is so, you know, destabilized at the moment, because the Christians, they want that. Yeah. They want the Muslims to be like that. Yeah. Because this shit never stopped.
Never stops. But if you're at this level,
these bloodlines.
There's bloodlines. If you're at this level, you're kind of wise to the game, though. Like you know it's up.
Sure. And it's like a giant game of chess, man.
Yeah. Let me tell you the definition of hiding in plain sight. So I can see here there is Saudi Aramco. Aramco is
huge, bro.
Yeah. It's literally a giant sponsor on the wing of a Formula One car.
It is.
It's like right there.
Aramco's super massive.
Aramco, yeah. I thought it was a car company when I saw it.
That's I believe it's oil.
It's oil, yeah.
Yeah,
oil,
petrol. It's like the biggest oil company owned by the Saudi Crown Prince. Trillion dollar company, man.
And they've got a stranglehold on world resources.
Big time.
And so even though we have oil in our country, plenty of it, it's like, no, you got to get it from these guys. All right, so we mentioned earlier, like at the bottom left, spiritual law, pineal gatekeepers.
Ooh, pineal gatekeepers.
Yeah, so for a lot of religious orders, you know, the Abrahamic religions, we got the Jewish, Christian, Islamic. These are like the three main sources of spirituality in the world.
Yep.
The buck stops here if you're anyone who's considered spiritual. It's like you cannot see God unless you speak through us. That's always been the order, especially in the medieval times. You get killed if you do it otherwise.
Yep, that's right.
And so this, like you said earlier, these organizations are not gone. They've just rebranded into the modern era, and they control through other means like entertainment and politics and us versus them, like propaganda through social media. They can use anything, but it's all controlled by very dark, clandestine operations that exist underneath and above all this stuff. So, like, you know, the Vatican owns so much stuff, right?
Oh, bro. They've got probably all the important ancient scrolls of Library of Alexandria before they burnt it to a crisp.
And more. That's just one.
Why did you do that to the Greeks today?
Dude, the door handle for the Vatican's like archives is just the Sphinx's nose.
The Sphinx doesn't need it. Fuck it.
Honestly, I think they probably took what was under the Sphinx as well as
most
the
likely. I
think they would have breached that long ago.
Yeah, man.
Yeah. But it's another story. But as we get to the top of this layer, which is crazy,
this bit here. Would you like me to?
So just that middle, the intermediary there. So we've got the pharaoh.
Yep.
Yeah. So these are where all the bloodlines lead. This is where they're the source of human contact between us and beyond is here. So the Pindar is center because that's meant to be like the one like super like world leader who it comes down to. That will actually be the intermediary between humans and ET.
Wow. So that's what the Pindar is.
That's why it's center there. Yeah.
Okay.
And you can notice the chess pieces. We got the king and queen as well. So mothers of darkness are kind of like a satanic order of female, kind of witches and that kind of stuff. So even those like dark mother figures, those dark figures are also like apparent there. So it's not just men like ruling some world here, but it's like a dark brotherhood of many.
Interesting.
They pretty much are the intermediary between this and the off-world stuff. Yeah.
So you got the Antichrist there, you got black magic, you got witches and warlocks. It's like all the mythical stuff that they've pretty much said, it's all bullshit folklore.
Yeah, but here's the thing.
A lot of people still practice that shit, dude.
Here's the thing: the rituals are not. Magic, as we know it, is not magic like hocus pocus, like let's make things disappear or Harry Potter type stuff. Magic is
not David Blaine or whatever he is.
David Blaine is a good example. So illusion is magic. So if you can trick a lot of people and you can essentially guide world history. Man. It's more powerful than shooting fireballs out of your hands.
That's right.
If you can control the course of human advancement
through illusion,
through means such as advertising, like you can manipulate through without even lifting a finger. You can manipulate through screens. It's magic. It's manipulating.
Who in the 1800s would have ever thought that even this would be possible?
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Yeah,
this was all deemed magic.
Yeah,
just 100 years ago.
Yeah, big time. And look, more so, it's like the more you look into it, you realize that it's all around you, and if you can tap into certain things, I mean, nothing to speak of the pineal gland. I mean, it's a whole other discussion, but
it's definitely important to make sure it's decalcified at least.
Absolutely,
because that is a great tool for intuition and you know, like accessing, you know, psychoactive compounds like DMT, which is found in like the acacia bark, which the ancient Aborigines talk about, and they were accessing it through burning the bark in ancient ceremonies. Then you got Peruvians that have been doing ayahuasca for God knows how long. 10,000 plus years. They were accessing, you know, using the pineal gland as an antenna. But you know, a lot of people don't know about that because in the whole world, there's 8 billion people, right? But only 5 million people have done ayahuasca. So there's just like fuck all people have done it.
Yeah, I mean, this stuff was kept secret to only a few who were
exactly, and those people were systematically killed through time if they were found out to be, you know, the people that passed on the knowledge of good and, you know, this kind of stuff. They had to hide. They had to hide. For millennia because they were targeted, because that was a tool that, if the masses found out about that earlier, could have shifted the whole game.
Big time.
Yeah. Cool. Take us through it.
Okay. So feel free to interject any time, guys. I don't want to.
Nah, man. We're a passenger on this train.
100%.
I just thought it'd leave a good background for anyone who's trying to explain ET, not in the sense of hocus pocus and ghouls and goblins, but there's something that actually exists and actually has a background and has an interaction with human culture. So the Pindar is like our sort of main. You guys looking? Where are you guys looking? You guys looking at that camera?
No. I'm looking at you. Maybe true. Do you want to come a bit more?
I don't know. I just don't know where to look. Am I looking in the right area? So here we are, pretty much at that layer, that final layer before we have contact with ET, and the contact with ET, as described even through ancient texts, is that it wasn't something that happened yesterday. This is something that's happened since our Genesis. There's many speculations as to whether or not they created us or we met them at a later point and they had genetic engineering on us. That's a whole discussion. I'm not tied to any idea, but I am open and I am willing to read up on this if it's mentioned
100.
more than twice.
I actually find myself a little bit more convinced in one thing more than any of the theories, and that is truly just accelerated genetic evolution.
Yes.
And the lineage of the Anunnaki.
That's what the Sumerians talk about.
Yeah, and the fact that we're actually just like the people that know. There's famously Jimmy Carter found, like, someone told him and he cried for 3 days. Like, famously, he was just a mess. This is the president of the United States during the 80s or 70s or whatever. And he was famously found to be just like, he like lost all meaning he was scared. And we don't know what he read. We just know what actually, I take that back. Recently, we found out, I wish I had it with me, but I'll go for a dig while you guys chat. But essentially, the whole idea is that we're nothing. Like, humanity in itself is just...
We're just here slaves to mine gold.
Essentially, we are just someone else's play toy.
So
we're getting to the juicy part.
So
top pyramid.
Here, the top pyramid, we got the king and queen level, which is like the very top of that level, which I think even to them, they're kept the most secret ideas. Top of bloodline conflicts is this idea that we are linked to Jesus, the one and only, the Pharaoh who's closest to God, the one emperor, like the true divine layer before reaching the divine. So it's the most divine human level, right? And these are the groups of people who, most cases, are not benevolent. They're not nice. They have full malevolence, and they control all the worst control systems below. They're not even concerned with money at this point. Well, people at the very bottom tier of this level, with the Vatican level here, are not concerned about money at all. They're not.
Only the right at the bottom.
Even the Mason levels at the level below, money's not even a discussion anymore.
Just dust.
It's power and divine control, and essentially trying to it's almost getting to
ascension.
It's almost detachment from source because they want to become God itself.
Yes, correct. They want to cut God off.
100%. They do that through controlling human cattle and feeding on soul energy in many subtle ways.
Can I ask, with relation to that, do they have infinite access to money as well? Is that why money is not an issue, or are they literally not caring at all about their financial situation?
I need more money,
and they're completely focused on that ascension side of things from your perspective?
They are, and that's actually a really good question because they are very concerned with ideas of printing money and perpetuating
fractional reserve lending systems, sneaky bastards.
Controlling debt through controlling population.
Exactly.
So money is used as a token of control, and it's a means of perpetuating a system which is they know doesn't work, but it keeps people on that wheel and it keeps things going in their favor. It can keep many levels ignorant. I even think someone like Elon Musk or Zuckerberg probably won't even know what they're actually a part of, But people point the fingers at the corporations. No, they're like the lower strings of the puppet. They are concerned about money. Beyond that, it's not about money anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. They've got enough money to spend 100 million lifetimes, you know what I mean? When it starts getting at that, it's all about power, control. Yeah. How many souls have you captured?
That's it. It's like they're concerned about immortality. I mean, even Google AI experts are concerned about immortality.
Yeah.
But these ones they're very invested in stuff beyond many thousands of years of history that we can even record.
And think about it this way. So let's just say you're on the bottom tier of this rung here. Mm-hmm. You've got money, and ultimately your biggest enemy other than more power or influence is time, right? Mm-hmm. So what do you, you're not interested in sailing on your yacht to the Maldives. You're not interested in, first class tickets around whatever obnoxious spending you can do, right? That is so beneath you because at this point it's boring.
Yeah.
So what do you do? What I would agree with wholeheartedly is that you're looking for more life.
Yeah.
And then what do you turn to? You turn to, ironically enough, you turn to the woo. You turn to the relics. You turn to the witchcraft. You turn to the blood rituals. You turn to the things that are so you'd be open and willing to do it because what else is there to do? Your day-to-day is surely so much bigger than take the kids to school and go to work, and you're just thinking about more.
If you can buy 100 Lamborghini Euroses, then
it's irrelevant. What a nothing life to have. You've got so much more than what money can buy. Exactly. That you're just everything is boring as fuck. So what do you want to do? You want to ascend. It becomes an ascension thing, a godly desire to. Yeah, obviously the whole living longer thing, but then you'd be more open to. And I really mean this, sacrificial shit, weird shit. People become so beneath you that you wouldn't even look at a screaming poor child on a sacrificial altar. You'd be like, meh, I don't care.
That's just a necessary thing for them. They're like, all right, well, we've got to appease the Dark Lord here. Yeah. Just another sacrifice, another day, another dollar.
The selfishness at that level would be on another level.
Yeah,
it's the unparalleled.
And so this is where all the themes of human trafficking kind of stem from. Is that these
adrenochrome?
The uncoverable sources of why this is occurring on a large scale, and why it's not talked about very much.
Yeah, because they can shut it down, and they do shut it down.
Yeah, and I mean,
Epstein's Island.
I don't have. I mean, the Epstein is just one common idea. Yeah. It's just so much more. It's gross. It's really gross.
It's disgusting.
But it goes to it's about subjugation and control. But I'm not saying. Look, there are groups in these who are actually concerned with the good. They are secret societies which are concerned with the good, because they believe in these esoteric ideas, and they want to fight against certain aspects. Apparently, the Merovingians themselves are very concerned because they were destroyed by evil groups in the Vatican earlier on. They were concerned about the word of Jesus and stuff like that, and